Hi, all. Jean here. How are you guys doing this very nice evening? Yeah, so tonight I want to talk about living inside of our reason, living inside of our explanation. But before I start this whole conversation, I want to say don't forget to subscribe and to like my channel because you subscribing to my channel is going to help me a lot, right? Because this channel is kind of like my retirement plan. So I'm planning on doing this channel for a while. I can tell that I'm a little warm. It could be a hot flash or something because I can see that my glasses is basically starting to frost up. So I'm thinking I'm just getting a little bit warm tonight, right? So this whole idea that we live inside of our reason and we live inside of our explanation, and we do not have to have a long winding um, conversation when we need to say no or when we need to ask for something. It could be short, it could be concise, it can save a lot of time for you, it can save a lot of time for me. It is something that I'm learning as well, but it's something that I'm noticing a lot lately. Um, and the more I notice it, the more I check myself on, how do I live inside of my reasons or do I do what I need to do? So for instance, I'll give you, say, for instance, tonight, I have to do my video and and I haven't gotten it done today. Obviously, it's late and I'm coming on now. Now I can live inside of my reasons and spend all my time going, oh, it is too late for me to do my video. I'm gonna have to pass on it tonight. I'll have to take care of it tomorrow. I'm feeling so disappointed in myself, and I don't know why I didn't get it done early. I need to do these things early, but of course, I didn't have time earlier on to do it, so now I cannot do it. That kind of a reason, that is me living inside of a reason for me not to come and do what I need to do, especially when our reason is our mood and our feelings. I don't feel like doing this. I'm not in the mood, so I'm not going to do it. So this is one way of living inside of our reason. Now, the other way with the reason and the explanation. So today, I went to my little workout session today, and this has nothing to do with, this is my experience, right? So I'm speaking on my experience, obviously not the other person experience. I can only speak on my experience, right? And it is something I'm learning to, something may happen, and something here is just, what is it? This is something, this is just bothering me. I'm going to fix that. uh Me and all my clothes on top of my bed. Yeah, I'm not perfect, and I just cannot be. I'm just here chatting with you guys late at night. So this morning I am at my workout place, and I said to um, I said to my coach, "Did you send me the invoice already?" I asked if she sent me an invoice because I didn't. In my mind, I probably get it and I haven't seen it, or I forgot that I got it. So I asked if it was sent, and instead of just saying, no, I haven't sent it yet, there was a whole big explanation. There was a whole like, oh, I haven't done this, and then I haven't done that, and then I'm going to go and get this done, and blah, blah, and blah, and blah. And I had to put my hand on her shoulder and says, it is okay. I just needed to know if you sent it, a yes or a no would help. That's it, right? I didn't say, lady, that's a lot of explanation. Nobody needs that. Just say yes or no, because I know that this is where we live. It's not about her. It's about where we live inside of ourselves as people. That exact thing happened to me about a week ago when a friend of mine's called me to ask if I can come and give her a hand at certain time in the week. And honestly, I have some free time, so I was like, of my first, I was already no problem. Just let me know when, and I'll come. And the truth is, she went into such an explanation, and I was driving. Of course, I was hand free. My phone is I have a stand for my phone in my car. So I was really, I was driving, and she's given me this explanation about all the reasons and why that she wanted me to come and what she needs and the reason. And it went on and on and on to a point where she said to me, because I was just listening, I wasn't saying anything, I was just listening with my own listening, and I was thinking for myself, oh wow, like, I really don't need this whole long explanation of why, she's asking me to come in and do this thing for her. So finally she said, "Are you there? Are you there?" On the phone. And I said, "Yes, I'm here." And and then she continued, right, for a good 5 minutes. So about 2 days later, I went to see her, and we were talking because we are friends like that. We can talk and share, and we were talking, and I said to her, she was still talking about, oh, it's so nice that I can come and give her a hand, and and then went back into the whole reason, and finally I said, love, love. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I said, "You remember when we were on the phone and you asked me if I was there?" And she said, yes. I said, I was there. I was just wondering. I was thinking in my mind, I don't understand why you have to give me this whole long explanation. And then we laugh about it for sure. We just end up laughing about it. But that's the thing. You can say yes or you can say no. You can ask for what you want by just asking for what you want. And if this person cannot give you what you want, you know we don't need the whole story. We don't need the explanation. And you know what, as I'm saying this to you now, I can hear my thoughts going, well, Jean, you are explaining this to the people online. You're explaining this to someone who is online. So it's a possibility I'm in my own story as well. But that being said, there is no need for that. This last summer at work, I had an episode, I would say an episode, something that happened at work. And I think that was the turning point for me when I decided 100% to live in the facts, not the story, not the reason, not the explanation, just to live in the facts of what happened, because it was easier for everyone to understand how to live in the facts of what happened. And yeah, so someone had said something, I felt hurt, and my hurt turned into anger. And I just, had a moment with my anger, and then I left. And that was it. But it became a full on story where a lot of people got involved. And so ultimately, what I said to the people that, like my supervisor and the head boss and all of them is this. I said, I am taking responsibility for what happened. And here is the facts. This happened and this happened. And I am standing for myself in that responsibility. I'm taking responsibility for myself and what happened, and I'm standing inside of the facts. All the other noise is noise. All that happened is that someone, was very much unconsciously biased to me. But when you are unconsciously biased, you do not know that. So that's what happened, and this was my reaction, and end of story, right? So just so that I can stay in just what happened and not go on and on and on and freak out about all the other reasoning, I couldn't do that. I had to take a stand and I had to be responsible for myself. So I was responsible for my part, but I also had a clear understanding of this is what happened, nothing else. There is no reasoning, there is no big explanation, there is no story, there is no right or wrong. This is what happened. And the other thing I notice about, our reason and our explanation and our stories is that we can get lost. I call it, beating around the bush. This beating around the bush. I had a friend with me yesterday, as a matter of fact. Yeah, yesterday. And she needed to, ask for something via email. And she already did, but the person that she sent the email to sent back an answer, but went all around the bush and didn't really answer her question in the email. But also her question in the email wasn't direct and was not as clear, And I said, you just have to say exactly what it is you want. I'm going to be doing X, Y, and Z, and could you help me do X, Y, and Z? So that way, the person who is writing you back, there's no room for them to talk around it. They can give you a clear answer. So there are many times when I'm sending a message, whether it's on WhatsApp or whether it's on Messenger or just a text message, I always have to come back to that clarity of directness. And yeah, I'm sure the person on the other end, um, can take it like, ooh, that is, yeah. But I have learned over the years that my directness is not really something to feel bad about or to feel shame about. I have always been, as a matter of fact, people say that I'm direct all the time. And believe me, that's a superpower. Because when you direct, there is no room for confusion. There is no room. And when I say direct, you don't have to be direct in a brutal, angry way. There's no need for that. You can be direct in the nicest, softest way. Hey, is it possible for you to come and do my hair on Wednesday? And would this time or that time work for you? As opposed to, oh, do you have time? When can you come? What day can you come? Would you come? No, be direct. Hey, let's have tea on Friday. Would 11 a.m. be okay? That's it. It doesn't, oh, let's have tea next week. You know how when you run into people that you haven't seen a long time and you lie into them and you say things like, yeah, let's have tea soon. Let's catch up soon. All of that is a lie. If you run into someone and you really want to see them and you really want to have tea with them, you take a moment and you say, yes, let's have tea soon. Would Monday be okay? Let's take a quick look at my calendar. Would Tuesday be okay? What time on Tuesday? When are you available? Make it just simplify, get to the facts. It's like going into a garden, pull out all the weeds, right? If you're in a garden and you have your beautiful flowers and then there is weed, you just pull the weed out. You do not go into the flower garden and start, you know, taking a leaf from the flower itself or a petal and, you do something. No, you just kind of clean it up. You're direct. Excuse me, there is no big set of explanation around it, and that is basically what I have to leave with you guys today. So release the storytelling. Well, unless it's a really good story, but the explanation, right? The reasoning, all your reason why you cannot do something, and go do the right thing. Stay in facts. When someone asks you a simple question, there is no need for, a yes or no would do it. A yes or no would do it. Honestly, you don't need an explanation. You don't need a long story. Just a yes or no. And you can ignore this whole story that I've just told. Anyways, guys, um, I do have my own, my own thing as well, but I really and truly do spend time listening and reflecting and being aware. And I think that's the biggest thing we need to do is to be aware. There are times when things could be very much, very factual, very simple, and it doesn't have to run on. And there are times when you may need to have an explanation, but it doesn't have to be, a 20-minute reason for your yes or your no. You can make it clean, make it simple, and do that, right? So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Um, I am looking forward to doing amazing things here. I love using my hands. Have you noticed that? I'm really looking forward to doing amazing things with this channel. um, as soon as I figure out all the texts and all the things and all the ways, I want to bring you outside with me. I want to take you driving with me, all those beautiful things, and just talk about um, beginning again, spirituality, all the stories I have, traveling, non-traveling, money, books, all the things. Yeah, just, yeah, like and subscribe my channel. You guys have a good night.